cruisers are missing out, and one cruise line wants to capitalize on it. Cruise. What's going on? My name is Jared, and this is Cruise. Thank you so much for joining me today. On this video, I'm going to talk about something that is a brand new thing, a new trend, where cruisers are missing out on their cruise vacations. And well, this cruise line actually wants to take advantage of it. They want to capitalize on what cruisers are missing out on. But before I get into all of the details, please subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. It's free to you, means the world to us. And while you're there, please hit that thumbs up. It's no surprise that after a year and a half of waiting during COVID, during the pandemic, for travel to come back, that revenge travel came back in full force. What is revenge travel? Well, it was trying to accomplish as much as possible once we were able to do so. Once restrictions were left, once cruises restarted and vacations started to happen again at full force because people could travel again, well, people had their bucket list destinations ready to go, and they knew they wanted to accomplish as much as possible as soon as possible. We saw this ourselves as travel agents, where so many people were booking wild vacations that they would never book before. Going to destinations they've never been to, whether that be different countries or maybe longer itineraries in certain countries they've already been to before. Whatever it was, they really enjoyed trying to do it all as much as possible on every single trip. Well, on a new survey from YouGov, we found out what travelers are thinking, what their thoughts were on their previous vacation, as well as what they're looking forward to on their next vacation. And the results were quite shocking. To start, let's talk about what people did in the past, and that was the bucket list travel. 7 in 10 people, 71% exactly, prioritized doing as much as possible or doing it all when planning their last vacation. This went really hand in hand with that bucket list wanderlust that we all came from out of COVID into our travels. But something that came with that was an exhaustion after traveling. In fact, 35%, 1 in every 3 people felt exhausted when coming back from their vacation, and they felt like they needed another vacation from their vacation. This is not surprising to me at all because we feel this often. We feel like coming home, we need like 3 more days to recoup from everything we experienced, but rarely do we plan to take the time off from work to recoup after our vacations. This prior travel trend really went hand in hand with FOMO, FOMO. And if you're somebody that doesn't know what FOMO is, it just stands for the fear of missing out. This rung true in our culture during the post-COVID travel trends, and something that we really saw happen for just daily life-to-life culture. People fearing missing out on things day to day, going out with friends, maybe going out and experience something new on a road trip, or being invited to do something, and even if they don't want to do it, they're gonna do it because they don't wanna miss out on whatever it is that's gonna be done. This really rung true with the travel trends of the past, but this new survey finds that the new trend is different. In fact, it is so different that it has a new name. That new name is JOMO. I kid you not, it's JOMO, J-O-M-O. This is the first I've ever heard of JOMO, but I wonder if you can guess at home what JOMO stands for. If you know FOMO's fear of missing out, JOMO is, well, the joy of missing out. Yes, that's a 180 turn from what fear of missing out means. This means travelers want to experience on their next trip JOMO. They want to have joy of missing out. Now you might think, what are people wanting to miss out on? This doesn't make any sense. You're traveling on vacation to experience things. You want to actually be a part of something. Well, they asked more questions of what exactly travelers want to miss out on. Top of mind was unplugging. They wanted to miss out on the digital needs of day-to-day life. Whether that mean being off of social media or not having to use a phone for everything you do, this was the top thing that people wanted to get on their next vacation. This is super interesting to me because as a travel agent and as someone that cruises a lot, we've seen these cruise lines go more and more away from paper copies of schedules or having actual physical products to handle, and are really going towards more screen time, whether it be on your phones for planning purposes, or whether it be even in experiential dining or experiential activities. There's more and more need for your phones or digital devices and screens than ever before. Another area that they want to enjoy with JOMO is escaping the pressure of FOMO. That means they don't want to have the pressure of missing out if they don't come to do something. That could be an activity on board a cruise ship, that could be an excursion out on land, or a top destination at a port. This is something very unique because this is really going to lead to more all-inclusive behavior and spending more time on board than time out at port or time doing things and being active. Along with this study comes more spontaneity, less control and plans and making plans, and more so of doing stuff on the fly and not having to worry about planning for it in advance. This is also interesting to me as cruise lines have come away from flexibility when it comes to excursion planning, for example. More and more now, cruise lines are actually charging cruisers for canceling their excursions if they don't cancel it in enough time ahead of the excursion. This really limits the amount of flexibility, so I'm curious to see if cruisers are actually going to enjoy this lack of flexibility that is expanding on most cruise lines. Along with JOMO comes slow pace and time for self-reflection, as well as nature. All of these make sense, and that isn't something very out there to want in a vacation in general, but it is more of a focal point than ever before. There's a few more points I want to add about this new survey result before I get into what this specific cruise line is focusing on and trying to capitalize off these survey results. First, this was surveyed to a bunch of travelers. They were not specific to cruises, they were not specific to land travel, just general travelers, families like you and my family, where we are being asked what we plan to do with our next vacation. So when they were asked what kind of vacation makes most sense for your JOMO needs, well, it was very interesting to find that cruises took the cake. I would have thought that all-inclusives would have been the best choice, as all-inclusives are in one place, usually in one resort, and have the most flexibility to just do whatever you want because you're at that resort and you're not leaving. Whereas on a cruise, you have a lot of different ports, you have a lot of things to do, a lot of things to plan for if you want to. And so it was really surprising to me that cruises were top of mind. 54% of respondents actually chose a cruise over any other type of travel for their JOMO needs. The last result isn't as surprising, and that is the fact that the Caribbean topped the list for destinations to go experience this JOMO trend. That makes total sense to me. The Caribbean is full of beautiful destinations that if you aren't wanting to plan anything, you can get off, not have a single plan in place, go relax at a beach, maybe go to a beach club, and really just enjoy the day without having to worry about a thing. So what cruise line is wanting to take advantage and capitalize off of your JOMO trends at home? Well, it's a little surprising to me. In fact, it's truly shocking. Norwegian Cruise Line is the one that actually paid for this YouGov survey to be done, and they are now taking action. They believe they have the best offerings for their cruise travel for this new JOMO trend. Specifically, they believe that NCL offers more freedom of choice on your cruise, more flexibility than any other travel or cruise line. They believe that their offerings are year-round in the Caribbean, makes a perfect solution no matter when you want to travel for your JOMO needs. They also say that they have these private destinations and private island that you can really enjoy the peace and getting away while also being in the Caribbean. Once on board, they mentioned their onboard sanctuaries being better than the rest. The fact that you have multiple places to truly relax, recoup, and get away from it all, truly unplug. There's a lot to do on NCL without doing a single thing. But the last point is the one I really think is most shocking. But the last point is the one that is most shocking to me. And that is that they focus and hone in on the fact that they are the most all-inclusive cruise line, getting you more bang for your buck. I'm sorry. Did Norwegian Cruise Line just say that they are the most all-inclusive cruise line and that you get the most bang for your buck? I think Norwegian needs to take a look at recent news headlines that they are the reason for, including having to pay more for a second entree, a whole separate price for your second entree, as well as the fact that there's no water included in any of your drink beverage packages, the fact that the drink package no longer can be applied to your private island that you are focused on for JOMO travel. And I think more than anything, the fact that no cruise line is called the nickel and dime cruise line more than that of NCL. These, of course, are my personal thoughts and feelings immediately once Norwegian Cruise Line said that they are the perfect choice for JOMO travel. But maybe I'm a little off step here. I want to know from you all at home what cruise line you think is truly perfect for this new trend of JOMO travel. In addition, is NCL the best choice or one of the best choices? And lastly, have you heard of JOMO travel? Is this something that is a true trend, or is this something that was kind of paid for by NCL for YouGov that YouGov might have tipped the scales a little bit to ensure that it fit the NCL mold? I want to hear from you all at home in the comments below. Let us know, as we are travel agents and we would love to know what the new trends are. And if it is truly the opposite of what it was in the past about bucket list travel and the fear of missing out to now more of a joy of missing out and wanting to escape it all, we want to know that, and we can book your cruise at jjcruise.com if you're wanting a JOMO trip. Thanks again for joining us today. My name is Jared, and this is JJ Cruise. Until next time, see ya.